I don't pay my mortgage on any of my properties. I don't pay my taxes. I don't pay my insurance. I don't pay for property managers. I don't even pay for repairs. My tenants pay for all of that.
So you have 4 kids. I have 2 kids. 2 kids are very, very expensive. Now you have 5. So they're double as expensive as my children. My children are very expensive. So how could you get to 30 with 4 kids and a government job? Like, how did you make that work and still get $250 to $500 per rental property? How the heck did you do that?
Every investor gets into this mindset because it's the first thing that we think of. We need to find a mortgage broker and find a realtor and put them together and buy a property. Well, that's one way to do it. And when you get a mortgage, you have to get a down payment, which costs a lot of money, all that sort of stuff. Well, I literally found 15 different ways to get financing. I used 15 different ways. I'll quickly go over just a couple of them. And when you use creative financing, that's what I like to call it, or it's called creative financing, instead of just getting a mortgage, save up a lot of money, put a huge down payment down, buy a house. That's just one way. In fact, it's the least efficient way. What I love to do is utilize creative financing, but other people's money. I literally give 15 different ways that I invest in real estate or get financing. So we'll quickly go through them. Number one, obviously, if you have cash, but it doesn't have to be your cash. You can use private money. I use lots of private money. I've used hard money lenders. I've even used signature loans. That's where you go into a bank and literally say, can you give me a loan just by me signing my signature? And they give you a loan. I've used bundled loans, portfolio loans, commercial loans, DSCR loans, debt service coverage ratio loans. I have even used the credit card that had a cash advance to buy properties. There's a lot more. Seller financing, subject to. I've done all these ways to get deals because I've been able to use creative financing because I understand how to make sure that the seller gets what they want and then I get what I want. But here's the biggest thing, Dana. In all these financing, when somebody says, well, Dustin, used a credit card to buy buy a house, say, yes, it was very expensive. Same thing like hard money is very expensive. But here's the great thing about real estate investing. And I account for that before I buy the property. Those are called expenses. And then I make sure I make a minimum. Remember, this is a minimum. I make a lot more in a lot of my properties. Some are $1,000 a month in passive income, but a minimum of $250 a month. So when I do that, I make sure that I can account for the expense of my interest or credit card payment or whatever it is. Because imagine this, if you're going to start a business where you have a candy bar and you can buy that candy bar for 50 cents and you knew every day, all day, you could sell it for $1. Well, you would love to get as many candy bars, 50 cents, pay it out as much as possible. But the great thing about real estate investing, you would be able to borrow money. Let's say you'd even have 50 cents. Well, you can borrow that 50 cents, maybe cost you 25 cents, but it doesn't matter that it costs 25 cents because you're selling it for $1. You're still making 25 cents from every single transaction. You'll think, how can I borrow more money? Same thing with real estate investing. It's a business that you need to build that makes you money every single month. So that interest, all those fees, everything is accounted for and it's paid for by the tenant. You would not buy a candy bar for 50 cents if you could only sell it for 25 cents. You'll be losing money. So just like in real estate, you have a business. Now our business owns inventory and our property is our inventory.